Hi, it's Lina Lou, and I'm so glad that you clicked this video because I am going to give you guys some great tips and tricks on breastfeeding and supplementing feeding simultaneously. A lot of the times women, they get so caught up in breastfeeding and they feel like they're not good enough, or they just feel really down about if they don't have enough milk. And it is a common myth that every mom has enough milk for her baby. That's a myth. That's not true. There are some moms that don't produce enough milk. There are some moms that have, smaller storage for their milk, so they can't feed their baby enough in a certain sitting. So don't put yourself down, okay? I'm so glad you clicked this video. If you clicked this video, it's probably because you're either breastfeeding and you feel like, you need that your baby's not getting enough milk, or whatever it is. I'm just really glad that you're here. Okay, so first off, I want to explain to you my situation. Azura is 9 months old, and I've been breastfeeding her for 9 months, but I have also been supplementing her for almost 9 of those months. When she was about 2 weeks old, I started supplementing her. I noticed that her lips were getting really dry. So I noticed that her lips were getting really dry one day, and I was like, she's hungry, like she's thirsty, she's dehydrated. So I just so happened to have some supplemented some baby food formula in these little teeny bottles. It was a Similac, and it had come in a trial run just to check it out, and I just so happened to have it. So I put that nipple on it, I put it in her mouth, and I was like, and I held my breath, and guess what? She loved it. She was so happy. She was fed. She was happy. As long as she had food in her belly, she was just as happy as ever. So, of course, me being a mother and wanting to breastfeed and having so much pressure on me to breastfeed, it was just really hard to to do that, because I felt like I wasn't good enough, or, what was wrong with me. But listen, you see all these things on TV. I'm sorry. You see all these things on YouTube and on, social media, and these women are like producing 2,000 milliliters of milk a day, and it's like they're like filling up storage freezers. It's just like insane. I want you to know that that's actually the exception to the rule. That is not the rule. The rule is you usually just produce enough milk for your baby. And yeah, there are some women who have who produce an overabundance of milk, and that's absolutely exceptional. That's so great. I wish I was one of those people, but not everybody's like that, and most people aren't like that. If you're on the ropes about it and you're not sure, just do it. There is an organization called Fed is Best. Fed is best. Whether it's breast, whether it's formula fed, fed is best. Your baby needs to be fed. So as long as she's fed and happy, he's fed and happy, we're all happy. So stop beating yourself up about it, because trust me, it's in the bigger scheme of things, it's really not that bad. So what I did was, because I wanted to continue to give her those nutrients from my breast milk, I just continued to breastfeed her. The pump, forget it. Let's discuss the pump. Let's put it this way. Pumping is my worst nightmare. I went and got this Medela pump. I don't know what it's called. It's pretty, sorry, it's dusty. I haven't used it in a while. But this is the Medela pump. I don't know which one it is, but it's the electric plug-in breast pump. And it's got it's a double breast pump. Okay, here's all the pieces to it. It's got a ton of pieces. I can't stand this thing. This thing is so annoying. Like literally, if you're stressed about breastfeeding, get yourself a pump, a manual hand pump, breast pump. This pump has gotten more milk out of my breast than this electric pump. And all of this electric pump is extremely uncomfortable. You have to have both shields on your breast at the same exact time, or else it won't pump properly, okay? It won't get enough milk out. So this one is just one. This is the Lancinol one, and this is just a stand, and you just put it on and you pump it, and it's got 2 settings. It's got the letdown setting, and it's got when you first start to get the milk flowing. That's the greatest one, okay? Get that one. Get yourselves a hand pump. There are some really expensive pumps. there's like the Symphony, and there's like some hospital grade pumps that you can try out that I haven't tried. But it just, all the cords and tubes, and you had to like sanitize and clean them after every single use. Like, it was just too much for me to handle. Like, I was already stressed out enough that my daughter wasn't getting enough milk. So don't stress yourself out. While we're on the subject of breast pumps, I'm actually going to show you guys how I make her bottle. Now, when I first started giving her a bottle, I was freaked out because, yeah, you don't want to. You want to be enough for your baby. This is the formula I use. It is the Similac non-GMO for supplementation for breastfed moms who choose to introduce formula. It's really great. It's from birth to 12 months infant formula. Okay, it is a milk base, so if your baby is allergic to milk, if they're more if your baby is milk sensitive, then that's probably not the best bet. So let's go bring this to the princess. Here you go, baby. Papa? My niece Sky is gonna give her a bottle. This is my niece Sky. There you go. See, and she loves it. Another thing is that I feared so much, that people just kept putting fear in me, was that nipple confusion. There was no problem with nipple confusion. Azura latched on right away. Some of you who are watching this may have issues with your daughter or son latching, which is fine because that happens to a lot of babies. I actually personally know a couple people who've had tongue tie. Their babies have had tongue tie. So if you have that issue, make sure you consult with your pediatrician, because that could be the reason why they're not getting enough milk. It might not be you. So make sure you check that out. But Azura latched on right away. It took a couple weeks for my milk to really come in. So this is why I did this. If your baby needs to be fed, give them formula. These days, formula is so good for babies. They've really come down to a science on breast milk for formula. So, yeah, that's great. So I've been supplementing Azura for about 9 months now. She still breastfeeds. She's kind of weaning herself off of the breast. She actually is down to only breastfeeding at night, which is great. She will have, maybe if she takes a nap in the day, she might have a little snack here and there, but she's mostly just formula fed. So that's actually really good because I didn't know how I was gonna wean her off. She's just kind of doing it on her own. Do yourself a favor and go ahead and get that formula and give it to your baby. And don't feel bad about it. You're gonna do just great. That baby wants to be fed. How I started Azura out with formula feeding is I had gotten these samples in the mail. They were the Similac little travel bottles. They're about 2 ounces and they come with a nipple that you just pop on. Those were my savior. Like, I didn't really know anything because in the hospital they ask you if you want to breastfeed or formula feed, and I had chosen to breastfeed from the beginning. So I didn't ask them like how much formula to give her or what kind of formula. I didn't know anything about formula. Okay, so first breastfeed them. Empty your breast and then make them a bottle to top it off. And if they don't drink it, then they don't drink it. But at least you know that they're full and they've gotten enough milk. A study in 2014 at the Ohio State University stated they did a test on formula-fed babies and breastfed babies, and there was no such thing as breast is best. So you can rest easy knowing that the beneficial effects on babies for weight and intelligence from breast milk have been overstated. So it's not true that babies are smarter if they drink breast milk. Although breast milk does have an advantage on formula, it has antibodies that protect your baby from sickness. Also, 92% of women had concerns about their breastfeeding within the first 3 days of breastfeeding. So if you have concerns, you are not the only one. 92%. That's almost all women had concerns about their breast milk. They had issues with either not enough breast milk, baby not latching on properly, or just nipple pain, because let's put it this way, it hurts. Only 13% of women exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months, which is recommended by pediatricians. Just whatever you do, don't give up on breastfeeding, because nursing your baby stimulates your breast production even much more than a breast pump. You can also mix breast milk with formula in the beginning if you feel like your baby may not, you know, take to the taste very well. You can mix the two. So if you're making a 2-ounce bottle, you can do 1 ounce of pumped breast milk and 1 ounce of formula. I can't recommend this foundation enough. It's called the Fed is Best Foundation. And I know I mentioned it before, but I really want you to go on this website and check out this website. They have a thing on their website and it's called Hungry, Hungry, and these are the signs that your baby is not getting enough breast milk. He's hypoglycemic. He is unsatisfied at nursing. So if he is camping at the breast like for hours, which I didn't know, Azura did this, I did not know, nobody told me that that wasn't normal. It wasn't normal. Also, not waking for feeding. So if the baby is not waking every 3 hours for feedings, that's bad sign. Growth, if his weight loss exceeds more than 4% in the first 24 hours or 7% at any time, this could increase hospitalization for jaundice. I didn't know this. Reduced wet or dirty diapers. So if they don't have any wet diapers in a 6-hour period, and then if they have any yellowing of their skin or eyes, which is jaundice. So if your baby has any of these signs, please supplement him, give him formula, give her formula. It's so important to feed your child. Fed is best. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about not being able to breastfeed. It is a common myth that all women produce enough milk. It's not true. So please feed your baby, know the signs. Check out this website, Fed is Best Foundation. Oh, hi. So while I have you guys in the kitchen, I wanted to show you guys a little recommendation. This stuff is called Mother's Milk Tea. It is by the company Traditional Medicinals, and it is absolutely phenomenal. So if you guys needed to boost up your milk supply, definitely try Mother's Milk. That has dramatically increased my milk supply. I remember by the time I was at 3 months postpartum, my milk supply was like off the charts. Like it was really doing really well. So definitely check that out. What I do, and which I still do, is instead of, because as a new mother you don't really have time to sit there and make yourself a cup of tea and sip on a cup of tea. So what I would do is I'd get a big pot, which I still do today. I get a large pot and I fill it with water, fresh water, and I add about 8 to 10 of these with the tab and all. You just throw them in the water, and I let that boil, and then once it's boiled I let it set and I let it steep for, you know, however long it takes to cool down. Once it's cooled down, I put it in a pitcher and I put it in the fridge, and I put sugar in it, Splenda in it, and I mix it up, and then I put it over ice, and then I have myself an iced tea. And so I drink Mother's Milk as iced tea, and not only that, but you're getting so much more that way. I really highly recommend this stuff. So definitely check out Mother's Milk. So back to my original thought. Let's bring each other up as mothers, as daughters, as sisters, as wives, as just human beings. Let's bring each other up. Let's not look at somebody who's breastfeeding and say, oh, they have it so much better than my baby because I wasn't able to breastfeed. Or look at someone who's formula feeding and say, oh, I can't believe she's formula feeding. That's, you know, that's just ridiculous. She needs to breastfeed. Let's not do that to each other. You don't know everybody's situation. Everybody has a different situation. Babies are actually dying because mothers are so worried about breastfeeding their child, and they're missing the cues of their baby starving to death. There are so many issues. There are so many women out there who have to formula feed. So again, don't beat yourself up, okay? These people, literally, there's babies who are sick because women are starving their babies because they're so pressured to breastfeed. Either a loved one is pressuring them, your husband's pressuring you, your mother's pressuring you, somebody is pressuring you, or you're just beating yourself up. Trust me, it's okay. If you look at it from the outside in, it's not that bad. So let's bring each other up. Let's rise as women and bring each other up instead of bringing ourselves down. And another thing is, if you want to breastfeed in public, go ahead and do it. Breastfeed in public. Pop that boob out and breastfeed in public. Because you know what? It's the oldest thing. To be honest with you, I have never had issues though. I have breastfed Azura all over the place, and because she doesn't like to be covered up, I can't cover her with a cover. So I have never had anybody once tell me to cover up or anything like that. So I've been lucky. I just want to leave it at that. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that I helped you. I hope that I gave you confidence to not be so hard on yourselves, okay? You guys need the confidence. Feed that baby. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I love doing these videos and I really want to continue doing these videos, and it really helps me knowing that there's people out there that like these videos. So please subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you are one of those people who are on the fence about formula feeding. Listen, you can do both. Your baby can get benefits of the formula and benefits from your breast. Can you believe it? It's awesome. It's amazing. It's just the greatest thing. I'll see you guys in my next vlog. Bye.